Hi, Steph, the BMW DIY guy. Before we get started on anything else, please make sure to click subscribe. Click the little alarm bell so you'll get notifications on any upcoming videos. And I have a lot of videos coming, just like this one. This is going to be the first in a series of suspension improvement videos that I'm going to have for my BMW F32. Now, there's a lot of things I want to do, like coilovers and other things like that, but your suspension is not just coilovers. It doesn't end and stop there. There are a lot of components along the way that support that and change how your car can feel and change how it can perform out on the street, in emergencies, or out on the track if you take it out there as well. So I partnered with a company called KCDesign out of Taiwan. I saw great reviews of their products and I reached out to them and said, I really want to have your products in my car. So the first thing we're going to install today are shocktower struts that go across the front and back, so under the hood and in your trunk. And like I said, this adds some stiffness, kind of like sway bars do from underneath, but this will help make that tighter. So this is going to be really simple. We're going to go out to the garage, get it done in less than 10 minutes with a couple of simple tools, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's get out there and get started. All right, y'all, so here we are out in the garage. This is going to be really easy. So in my case, I've got two 16mm bolts on the top of each shock tower. Now, this you may end up having three, depending on your scenario, but in my case, I only have two. So this is gonna be really easy. Just pull both bolts on both sides, put this into place, screw the new bolts on. I'll show that really simply, at least on one side. You don't even have to remove anything. All you have to do is pull back the rubber trim on this side. You said you got this one here, which is pretty stiff. Now, the one thing I did look up, because these are the top bolts for your shock towers, right? So, and you can see there's these big fatty bolts with this big, huge washer on it. So the one thing I did want to look up to make sure was what torque they go back on. Because what I don't want to do is have them be too loose. So they are 30 Newton meters, so forgive me if at some point I say nanometers, because that's for whatever reason I really want to call it nanometers. They're newtons. So all we do is just pull. They're pretty stiff, as is. Of course, this is a short-handled wrench, so it's a little stiff. All right, so the front and rears on this are really, really simple. The suspension series I'm doing here, this is going to be the easiest of all the work to do. So I figured I'd start here. All right, so I've got the four 16mm bolts out, and then I'll just fit it into place. Probably just go finger tight on these for now. And like I said, I'm going to use my torque wrench, 30 Newton meters, 30 newtons. All right, so that's simple. So the front, it really is that simple. So a couple of things to point out here really quickly. Make sure you've got hood clearance. So if your hood has been adjusted at all or moved, obviously I've got my carbon fiber hood on. I'm going to make sure that I've got good clearance here across the top. I should. The last thing I want to do is rub my hood, and if need be, you can adjust your stops on your hood a little bit. But chances are you're probably going to be okay. From my initial fitment, I really don't think I'm going to have any space problems at all. So, all right, so all four of those are into place. Then all you need to do is use your torque wrench. Now, the one thing that I did is I went ahead and invested, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I went and invested in a pretty good torque wrench. I've always hated the mechanical ones. I'll be honest with you. I really have. So being able to get a digital one where you don't have to do the math or conversion tables, this particular wrench, you can get it and you can just cycle it to whatever you need. Inch pounds, foot pounds, newtons, whatever you need. So, all right, I'm gonna tighten all four of those down to 30 Newton meters, and then we're gonna move to the back. All right, so here we are at the rear. If you don't have a plastic trim tool, I would highly recommend it. Definitely get them. It's a great way to not scar up plastic parts. So what you're going to want to do is pull the cover off your loops, your cargo loops here in the back. So you can see a cargo loop over on this side. I've got the other one off from the other side. And you can see it's just a simple plastic cover. So what you're going to want to do is take a plastic trim tool. Forgive me as you probably see the back of my head here. Get in underneath and get that pried up just like that. So you can see it's off. So then you just simply have a T40. So this is a T40 Torx to take that bolt out, put this bar into place, put this bar into place there, take the T40 out, put the bar into place. You can even put the loop back into place potentially, but we'll see if I leave it there. But we're going to put that back into place. That's simple. So I'm going to take those loops out and then I'll show you with the bar in. All right, as you can see, it's in. So my mistake, actually the little covers and the cargo loops do not go back on. They don't fit. So, but as you can see, it looks fine. So it's completely installed. 2 bolts here in the back and you're good to go. You can also see there my new favorite tool that I picked up the other day, my impact wrench, which is just the greatest thing ever. And since I got it, I don't know how I lived without it. So definitely consider that if you're going to be doing work on the same rate that I am, or you're doing things on your car. So as you can see, we're all done. It's really that simple. It comes down to 6 bolts, 4 in the front, 2 in the back, installed, good to go. All right, as you can see, all cleaned up, tools put away. Really simple install today, something that you can do out in your garage in under 10 minutes and make a noticeable difference in the handling of your car that simply. Thank you for KCDesign for making a fantastic product, and I'm really looking forward to having these in my car and others as well as I go through the rest of my suspension series. Also, make sure again to click subscribe and the little alarm bell as well, because I've got a lot of videos coming up on how to make these improvements in your car as well. Lastly, if you want to be a BMW DIY guy or gal, check out the link in the description. I've got t-shirts now and other swag that are out on eBay. Check it out, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.